Hello everyone, and welcome to today's 5-minute build showcase for Destiny 2, where today I am remaking one of my favorite Void Warlock builds that revolve around insane ability and super regeneration, crazy ad clear, and void explosions with near infinite healing for a build that works in almost all activities, both in group or solo. So now it's time to check out the build. Kicking off this build, we have the Nezerac Sin Exotic Helmet with its perk Abyssal Extractors. This perk procs every time you get a void kill for 2.5 seconds, up to a maximum of 20 seconds. While Abyssal is active, we gain 300% additional grenade and melee energy, and 200% additional super and class ability energy. To make sure this exotic works to its full potential, we need to take a look at our subclass. For the super, I'm running the Cataclysmic Nova Bomb for its high burst damage to bosses or groups of adds. I'm also using the Healing Rift for some survivability, with the Pocket Singularity Melee to have a way of making enemies volatile. When it comes to grenade, this is really up to your playstyle, but I found that the Axion Bolt Grenade works best with this build to really help us clear out adds and activate our exotic perk. When it comes to aspects of this build, I'm running Child of the Old Gods. This aspect creates a Void Soul when we cast our Rift. This Void Soul will damage and weaken enemies, while also granting us grenade and melee energy when running Healing Rift, which ties perfectly with our build to spam as many abilities as possible. As a bonus, defeating a target that is being drained also restores class ability energy. Our second aspect is going to take survivability to the next level. Feed the Void is going to grant us Devour when getting a Void ability Final Blow. When Devour is active, getting kills restores health and extends its duration. Between this and our Healing Rift, we become almost unkillable as long as we are defeating enemies. Now we need to equip some fragments to further enhance our build, starting off with Echo of Persistence, which is going to increase the duration of our Devour perk. This becomes particularly useful in endgame content when enemies are harder to kill, granting Devour for 15 seconds on every activation. The second fragment is Echo of Expulsion, meaning that Void ability Final Blows cause targets to explode, increasing the potency of our grenades and melee. I'm also running Echo of Instability to grant volatile rounds to Void weapons when defeating enemies with grenades. And our last fragment is more of a flex fragment depending on your playstyle. The fragment that I like using with this build is Echo of Exchange, so that melee Final Blows restore grenade energy. This build clearly revolves around spamming our abilities to clear adds, restoring health and increasing our ability regeneration. But now we need to see what weapons will work with this build. My exotic weapon of choice with this build is the Graviton Lance. This dual shot Void Pulse Rifle hits hard, and with its Cosmology perk helps clear out adds, especially when we have volatile rounds from our fragments. Now I want to talk about mod selection for this build. With Lightfall, build crafting revolves around armor charges and the benefits from having their stacks. Armor charges are acquired by picking up Orbs of Power. We are going to be producing orbs from two main sources outside of our super. These mods are Void Siphon and Firepower to produce orbs from Void Weapon and Grenade Final Blows. For the mods that are going to affect our armor charge, I'm running Charged Up on the chest armor to gain an extra stack, maxing out to 4. And I'm also using 2 sets of Time Dilation to increase my stack duration up to 16 seconds. All of these stacks are going to be used up by 2 main mods, these being Font of Wisdom to increase our intellect, allowing us to acquire Nova Bombs even faster, and 3 sets of Void Weapon Surge, granting all Void weapons a 22.5% boost to damage as long as we have stacks of armor charge, and with our setup, this is almost permanent. For some extra mods, I'm running Ashes to Assets for super energy production from Grenade Final Blows. On the arms, I'm using Momentum Transfer and Impact Induction for even more ability energy, and I'm using a Bomber mod on my class armor to reduce grenade cooldown when using rifts. This combination of mods, abilities, and exotics creates a build that makes ability spam even crazier than builds pre-Lightfall, while allowing us to clear out huge groups of ads and generate a ton of super energy. I'll leave a screenshot to mod placements right here, and as always, I'll put a dim link in the description for you to check out. Of course, if you enjoyed this build showcase, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny builds every week, and I'll see you in the next one.